We booked hundreds of qualified sales calls for our customers using intent data that no one else is actually using. Not from Clay, not from Apollo, or open jobs or funding rounds, or this kind of things that everyone else is doing at the same time and hammering all leads with the same message. If you're doing outbound right now and you're trying to use intent data, you're probably using the same databases and the same signals as your competitors, hammering the same leads with similar messages. And that's why intent and reply rates keep dropping. In this video, I'll show you how to build research AI agents that will find companies with real intent for a solution, of course, based on custom signals that only you can find, that then find prospects on those companies, write personalized messages based on the signals that we found, and then add them to sequences on LinkedIn, email, cold call, something that before would take an entire SDR team to do. If you don't know me yet, I'm Leah. I build AI GTM systems for B2B companies from IT to recruiting, marketing, and SaaS. And I've sent hundreds of thousands of cold emails already, booked hundreds of meetings for me and for my customers. And right now, I'm going to share one of the playbooks that's been working for me the most right now. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to show a quick demo of the system. Right now, I'm going to execute this workflow here. I already have a spreadsheet where I have a database of maybe 1,000 leads. In this case, they're all companies in New York, and I'm trying to find companies who need cleaning services, right? So maybe they're expanding their office, maybe they're changing locations, maybe they're expanding their team. They might need to hire a cleaning company, which is my customer in this case. And with this AI agent here, it's researching for new hires, for recent news where this company is moving to another office, or maybe they're expanding their current office or their current facilities or whatever it is. So researching all that information for every company in our list. Then we're updating all the companies in our CRM. In here, we already have all the companies and the classification for an intent signal, if it's weak or strong for each one. When it's strong, we have everything that we just learned about this company. So in 2024, they started in this office here. Then they started relocating to other places. They started expanding their office and some other things that we could go. We have all the sources as well. Then we also have for all the other companies, whatever happened as well for them. So 2024, they had an expansion leading to a bigger office right here. And the same for other companies as well. Now, what this other part of the workflow does is to research the leads from the same database that we have. To already have all the contacts and companies I want to reach out to. I know their first name, last names, and so on. And now I'm getting all of those leads. I am in a first node understanding whether or not I have a valid email for them. If I have a valid email, sent to an email campaign, if not only to a LinkedIn campaign. And for both cases, we're generating a personalized intro or a personalized message based on everything that we just learned about the company, the signal that they presented, and how it connects to the service that we want to sell. So we're being a lot more relevant for them. So when we see our Airtable base, we can see all the leads that are here. Some we do have a valid email and they were added to an email campaign. Some others, we don't have that. But for all of them, we have a personalized first message that were written. So Matthew will notice Verition recently expanded its team and offices. Is this a good time to evaluate cleaning service for your new locations? And we have similar messages to everyone, but they will of course be different. So Bill, I noticed Betterment recently expanded its team rapidly. Does this growth have you considering how to keep your new office spaces spotless and efficient? Or other messages that, will be different for every lead. So if we go to our instant lead campaign, we will see that all of those leads are here. We will see that these variables actually work here on instantly. So if we change leads here, we're going to see how the message is also different for everyone. And by running this type of campaigns, we're being able to be a lot more specific on what kind of companies and people we're targeting. And for that, companies that are very qualified, we can not only send email outreach, but also send LinkedIn, maybe do cold call, in some countries do WhatsApp, so we can reach those leads in pretty much every channel that we can. Now that we already know how the system works, let's start looking into every part of it so you know how to build something for you in the future just like this. Or if you need help to build something like this, just click on the link below, book a call, I'll be very happy to get to know you in our business. No pressure at all. I'll be just very happy to help you and understand and help you understand how to build something like this or other playbooks that we have executed successfully in the past. But let's go back to it. So let's start looking at each component of the system. So as we said, we have a spreadsheet where we're pulling all the data from. Right now, we're looking, hey, do we have this company or not already in our CRM? So we're looking, is this a new company? If it's a new company, then of course, we're going to do the research, right? So first, we're trying to actually look for a few details. Are they qualified for us to sell to them? In this case, we can look if the company is an e-commerce or if the company is in a particular position or location, if this company is in a particular industry, whatever filter we want to use, we can filter those companies that meet that criteria first, and then conduce the other research and the extra research that we're going to do about them. In this case, what we're doing, we have a AI agents that we're using a OpenAI node as a reasoning node, and then we have a tool from Perplexity, which is actually doing all of the research. And then our AI agent is just combining that research in a particular way that we want to receive this answer every time. As an example, we're sending to this agent the information that we have about the company. We're then saying, hey, you're going to help me with business development. In this case, I only want to work with companies that are in the New York metropolitan area, or a very specific region that I want to work with. You have available the deep research from Perplexity. So you're going to use that tool to search across business news or press releases, LinkedIn company pages, commercial real estate news, business expansion announcements, job listings, permit filterings, all those kinds of news that might indicate for us that in this case, this company probably need or is more inclined to need cleaning services and might change its cleaning provider. And this part is really important because here is where you're going to understand what's important for you in a company that you're going to prospect. You're going to try to move away from just new hires or open jobs or recently funded. Of course, you can also filter and look for that. Here is where you're going to try to find for new stuff, just things that your competitors aren't looking for. So when you identify, you actually differentiate yourself. This will vary from company to company. Just think on, hey, if I was doing this manually, what would I look for? Is it, I don't know. It's hard to say because it varies a lot, but what would you know? What would you look if you're doing this manually? And then just get this AI agent to do it for you at scale and do this for thousands of companies every month for very little, right? So this is pretty much the prompt. We have a few more instructions on what are the things that we do consider that are indicators that this company is inclined to hire us. So in this case, it might be company opening a new office, a store, a branch, a showroom, or a relocation or rapid growth. As you said, right? Will vary from company to company, but this is what is important for you. What will make this company more inclined to hire your services or your products. This is another important part, is where we tell the AI how we want to receive that information. So I want to receive this in the same way every time, so we can keep it organized and fit it into another AI agent. As you saw, that will personalize the messages, but it needs to receive the message in the same way every time. So what we're doing here is say, hey, I want to receive a title for this event. I want to know where this customer is because location is important for me in this campaign. I want to know the summary. So whatever happened with this customer, is he hiring a lot of people? Is he growing fast? Do I have some news that he's moving to another office, to another area, whatever it is? A relevance to score, because if it's a high signal, I do want to prospect them. If it's maybe something, I did find something, but it's not really relevant, then I may not want to qualify this lead. And there's then a source. So if in some cases I want to verify and make sure that's true, in some cases it might be useful, but you don't always need it. Only having a good prompt is oftentimes not enough. Most of the times you need a structured output parser, just so the agent will output the information every time in the same way. And here's basically you telling him how you want to receive that information, right? So we saw that we had a title, And that type, this is a string. It's a short headline describing what the event was. We also had a summary, which is also a string, so it's a text. And then plain text paragraph covering the main things that relates to the signals that we want to monitor in those companies. We're basically explaining here how we want each one of those variables to look like. And after we have that, we will decide, is this a qualified lead? Is this a not qualified lead? And then in here, we're going to update our database or our CRM with all the information that we found or didn't find about each company. So in this case, if there is a weak indicator of intent, we'll just classify that. If it's a strong indicator, we'll update that too. And we also update with whatever information or whatever, intent data that we found about this. And we're going to do so for all the companies that we have on the list. All right. So this is the first workflow. I hope it's not too long for you guys to understand. And this workflow is a little bit longer. It's because it does a lot of things at the same time. But I think for this video, the most important thing here that we need is where we're actually trying to create the personalization based on the information that we have for every company. So in here, I have a simple LLM node. It could also be an AI agent, could be a lot of things. But in this case, I'm saying, hey, you're going to help me create some customized variables for an outreach campaign. You have some information about these leads, like their name, their company name, their LinkedIn URL. And you also have a research from another agent that summarized a lot of information that we found about this company, right? So help me to personalize this icebreaker. Then on the icebreaker, I want to have more control on how this output is going to be. So I'm actually using a template for how I want the final email to look like. So I have an icebreaker. Then I want this icebreaker to connect the rest of the email, which weekly for Fortune 500 companies, embassies, consulates, in major venues across the country. We'll match your current we'll match your current rate and give you a dedicated cleaner who actually shows up every time and keeps everything clean and tight. So here, we're trying to come up with an offer that is very attractive to cold audience. That's important too. It's a whole nother chapter. But basically, we're trying to provide as much value as we can to a cold audience, to a cold person that haven't heard about us, that don't trust us. So that's pretty much how they get us to, give us a chance and talk to us in the first time. But basically, here, I'm giving the agent instructions on how to build this icebreaker. So icebreaker related to the move of opening an office, changing office or headquarters, rapidly growth their team or something like that. And then here I'm even giving some examples of how I want this icebreaker to look like, because I want to have control on how it looks like and don't give a lot of room to AI. As I said before, another thing that you could do is actually leave the AI more room and just leave it decide to actually how the icebreaker was going to be. But in this case, I didn't want to do so. So I'm giving clear instructions or examples on how I want this, in this case, the icebreaker to look like. And after that, we are checking whether or not this lead is already in our database, whether or not this lead is in our instantly campaign. If they're not, we're going to send, as we said, to the campaign. If we don't have a valid email, then we can send this lead to another campaign through LinkedIn DM automation like Hey Rich or AimFox or whatever other you like to use. And the final result is that you can move away from having a templated static message for every lead. Even if you throw in some spin tags and try to variate a bit, it's still the same, and don't really personalize to what's happening right now with that prospect or with that company. And with those systems, you can actually kind of mimic what you do anyways. If you had a human SDR that could prospect, 5,000 companies per month in a quality way, you can just now do with these agents. I really hope you find this helpful. It gave you ideas on how to do outreach differently from now on. I really hope it helped. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Again, if you need some help, please book a call below. I'll be happy to speak with you.